President Trump arrives here in Israel a week from now with high expectations, saying he wants a deal between the Israelis and the Palestinians in a year. And already both sides are on a media blitz to shift the blame if things don't work out. We heard some of that spin earlier in the program. Let's bring in senior U.S. affairs analyst for Haaretz, the major daily newspaper here in Israel, Chemi Shalev. Chemi in Tel Aviv, so there's a bit of delay. We'll get right to it. I've been here about a week now, and you get a sense that there has been this radical shift in the view of the prime minister vis-a-vis the American president, from very chummy to very worried. True? And if so, why?
Well, I think what's worrying the prime minister is that he doesn't know what to expect. Ever since President Trump was inaugurated, there have been a series of steps and moves and statements that have taken Israel by surprise. There's the fact that they don't know to this day whether he's going to or not going to move the embassy. There was this very chummy meeting with President Abbas. There was his public reprimand to Netanyahu at the White House about doing something about the settlements. And overall, there is this great ambition of the president to achieve a peace deal. Is obviously worrying for many Israelis, but especially for right-wing Israelis, because everybody knows that any peace deal would require great concessions from Israel, which it does not want to make. And Israelis don't believe that peace is possible anyway, not only because they don't want to make concessions, but because they don't think the Palestinians want peace. So, yes, I think it's the lack of knowledge that is making people worried a bit.
We heard exactly those talking points that you just sort of reiterated from Yair Lapid, saying that the Palestinians are the problem here. If it fails, it's because of the Palestinians. Palestinians clearly aren't going to take the same deal they said no to at Annapolis or they said no to at Camp David with Bill Clinton and Ehud Barak. So what can President Trump do? What is his stick, if you will, and the carrot and the stick vis-a-vis Israel, and how worried are the Israelis that he'll use it?
Well, I don't know that they're really worried yet. As I said, it's the lack of knowledge. First of all, even though it's true that it's hard to see President Abbas accepting what he rejected before, one has to say that President Abbas has surprised Israelis by cozying up to President Trump, by being agreeable to all sorts of things that he didn't agree to with President Obama, for example, meeting Netanyahu with no preconditions. And he's sounding much more amiable than he did. So that's already worrying Israelis, because, you know, as we know, there's this blame game going on. Look, we don't know what the plans are. There's been this very strange shift in Israel. It's almost a bizarre world, you know, like Superman bizarre world.
I mean, we don't know what the plans are vis-a-vis President Trump. As he has said, he views being flexible as a real key to his success. He surprised everyone when he said, hey, look, one state or two states, reversing decades of U.S. policy. But if he decides to get tough with the Israelis, what can he do? What leverage does he have with the Israelis? What leverage does he have with the Palestinians to try to bridge this divide that so clearly exists?
Well, he's the U.S. president. He has a lot of leverage with both sides, perhaps more so with the Israelis, because the Israelis have more to lose. And I'll point out something to you, that when President Obama was in power and when he fought with the Prime Minister could always rely on the Republican Congress, on Republican voters to back him up. He used that to his advantage several times. Now, when he looks at what's going on in America, I'm not sure that he has that backup anymore. If President Trump decides to get tough with him, who is he going to turn to? The Republican Congress? If you look at what's going on with the Comey affair, I'm not sure that the Republican Congress will stand up to the president on an issue such as, you know, peace demands. And I'm not sure that Trump voters will take kindly to a Trump president who says that Netanyahu is not behaving well. So there's a lot of room for concern here, and I think, ironically, even though Prime Minister Netanyahu is probably still very happy that Trump is the president and not Hillary Clinton and not Obama, I think he's not as happy as he was. And definitely I can tell you that the people to his right, members of his coalition, have turned from, you know, accepting Trump as the new Messiah to being very worried about what his plans are.
Well, it will be fascinating to see how it plays out. He's only on the ground here for about 26 hours, but the repercussions will certainly ripple out for a long time. Chemi, appreciate you being here with us, and we'll follow your analysis in Haaretz. We want to bring you an